Well, today I'm speaking with Indiana State Senator Amanda Banks. Amanda, it's great to have you here with us.
Oh, it's so good to be with you, Kim. Thanks for having me.
Most of our viewers probably don't know, but you worked for CitizenLink for a while, and so this is not a call with a stranger. This is a call with a friend. So I'm so glad to be talking to you today.
Thank you.
Well, tell me the backstory of what's happening in your world right now.
Well, there's a lot. So just last week, I was elected by a caucus to fill in for my husband, Jim, while he is deployed with the Navy. He is in Afghanistan until May, and so he is going to be away from his desk at the State House for this coming legislative session, which starts in January. So upon him being reelected in November and being sworn in, he submitted a letter of a leave of absence letter virtually, and that created a vacancy. I was the only one that threw her hat in the ring to run, and so I was elected on last Tuesday night, to fill in for him. So we're just getting up and running, lots to do to prepare for January.
Tell me a little bit about what it's like to have your husband gone and your kid's dad gone.
It's hard. It's very hard. I think one of the first things that I thought about, which I didn't necessarily anticipate thinking about, was with his absence, just it's such a reminder to me and a reinforcement that God created male and female to be a team, both in parenting and marriage, and really in our larger world. But we miss him. I mean, there's a huge deficit in our home with him not here. I can be a great single parent, but I can never replace my husband. I've grown in my appreciation for him since he's been gone.
Tell me the process of how you came to replace him in his senatorial seat. I know people will be asking that question. What does that look like?
Well, so when he found out he was going to be deployed, he wanted someone to represent the district, the 17th Senate District, while he was away, but he didn't know if that was going to be possible or not. So he went about inquiring with those that are in the know at the State House, and they did find a provision in state law to allow for an interim senator in the case of a military leave of absence. So he was very relieved when he found out that indeed someone could represent the district in his stead. And so that began the process of he and I talking about whether that would be me. And then eventually, of course, we made the decision that I would throw my hat in the ring. But up until 72 hours before that caucus, we were waiting to see if anyone else would also choose to be on the ballot that night. And as I said a minute ago, no one else did. But then I went through that caucus procedure, and it was a fairly simple. Just the state party chairman came to Huntington, Indiana, part of my district, and he led that caucus. It was a unanimous voice vote, and then I was, gave some comments, made a speech, and that was it. So fairly simple.
Well, you said earlier that Jim would be back in May. How long will you actually serve until he comes back and gets started again?
Yeah, I will serve the duration of the legislative session, which we're in a long session this year in Indiana. It's a budget year for us, so it'll be from the beginning of January to the end of April. So for those 4 months, I will serve, and then immediately upon Jim returning, he'll take back over the reins and he'll be state senator again.
So, what can people in Indiana expect from your leadership?
Well, I think they can expect something similar to what Jim has offered, principled conservative leadership. Of course, I care very much about pro-family values, particularly the right to life. During the time that I've been staying at home with our girls, I have continued to serve as vice president of the Allen County Right to Life, which is in Fort Wayne, the largest city in the area here. And I've really enjoyed that work. I've had the opportunity to also participate in our radio program and serve as a co-host there. So it's kept me engaged in the issues, but the pro-life cause is one that I'm very passionate about. I'm also looking forward to pouring into my committee work and assignments, and the two that I think will take up the majority of my time are Veterans Affairs, which as a military spouse, I'm really looking forward to offering my perspectives there, and then the Education Committee, which as a mother of 3 young children, I'm very excited to participate in, and I know that there's a lot before us this year in education, so that'll be of particular interest and really something I think I'll enjoy.
Amanda, you've talked about politically what will happen when Jim comes home, but personally, for you and your kids, what will
Mhm.
that be like to reintegrate dad into everything that's happening?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think we have a lot to learn about what that will look like and certainly feel like. Right now, we're just so excited. You know, we all dream about that day on a daily basis. We have a countdown calendar, and we just passed the 3 month mark. He'll be gone for 5 more. So we're nearing that halfway. Once Christmas is over and we're into the new year, we'll be halfway there, and we look forward to those milestones. It'll be great. I think when he returns, our youngest daughter will be turning 2. We're planning a birthday party already for right after he returns. We have that to look forward to, and we're also planning a family vacation for the summer. I think it's great that he's going to be coming home right at the end of the school year when we'll all be home for summer break and be able to do things together as a family and just take our time, hopefully, kind of reintegrating, and then he'll go back to work, of course, and we'll sort of get back to the real normal routine. But I'm hoping for a few weeks there, it'll just be us, and we'll have some great time together as a family.
When I think about biblical citizenship, I think about you and Jim. You guys have really worked hard to walk out your values in every area of your life. Tell our viewers what biblical citizenship means to you.
Well, I think about just being a servant leader, too, along with what you said, Kim. Jim has shown me as his wife what it really means to serve people. And that sounds like a platitude, but it's not. You know, as his wife, I would often ask, well, why are you going to this or to that event, that meeting? And he would say, it's my job. You know, he believes so much in his responsibility and the privilege he has to serve people by representing them, by taking up issues that are of importance to them, like with introducing legislation. He's done a terrific job of championing the values and the issues that are important to people in his district. And I so that's kind of my model, and that's what I'm thinking about as I prepare to head to Indianapolis and represent this district. Is how can I best serve them, really in the light of my husband, that they would feel that they're well represented, and also that they have someone at the state house that's principled. They know that we're conservative, so that's not going to be a surprise to anyone. But I just want to, do the best job I can to represent people and to stay true to our values, which I don't think will be a problem.
Indiana State Senator Amanda Banks, it's been great to talk to you today.
Oh, I've loved it. Thank you, Kim.